Hello and welcome to the 2020 Disc Golf Pro Tour Tour Championship. This is the final round. This is the back nine. It is all on the line. Big Barry commentary, Jeremy Koling, Paul Ulibarri.
It is all on the line, and this is the last nine of the season.
We got some disc golf being played right now by Chris Dickerson and Kevin Jones. They're leaving it all out there. 7 in a row for Chris Dickerson, but the back nine, folks, is where birdie streaks go to die. We're gonna call it the front 10. I like his chances. I like everyone's chances of birdieing hole 10. This is a very birdieable hole. It's only 250 feet to the corner, and once you get to the corner, it's just another 250 feet from there. Forehand for almost every player in this group with their abilities to throw that shot. I don't see this hole being that difficult. I don't even know if we've seen a bogey on the hole yet. We're gonna start talking about how this course shrinks on the back nine.
That's right.
Come hole 11.
Heard of an old story. Guy played the first 10 and 10 under par, and then got 8 up on the back nine.
By an alligator, literally 8 up. He didn't finish the round because he was carried to a hospital. We don't know where the alligator came from. We are nowhere close to any swamps.
Chris don't care about no alligators.
Yeah, Chris is caring about keeping that birdie streak alive.
Yeah, he got 8 up, and then he shot 2 down.
And then he had to call 911.
Kevin Jones with the X1.
Yep, and that's got some nice speed and good height.
Executed perfectly.
Okay, all right. I see what you did there. The Hamburglar going with the Firebird. You know why we call him the Hamburglar?
Because he steals burgers.
Because he's coming for that cheddar. He's coming to take your cheddar. Sorry. This is a perfect drive from Austin. That's a drone, and that's about as much distance as you're ever going to see from a fairway driver or a distance driver. That's just a superb drive. Calvin making a correction from his approach.
And that's parked, and that...
In the semifinal round, and that's the X3.
He's going to be cheesing.
Oh, yeah.
Glee.
Uh-huh.
With that park job. Kevin says, you know what? I got a little bit of that, too.
He's pickled to death with that approach. I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed. My cheeks are red as a tomato. All right, let us move on here.
We got to stop, yeah. This is beautiful. Coming in like so soft.
For those of you looking to catch up on what we're doing, we're making hamburger puns.
And Austin trying to make it.
Wow. So it looks like we're going to get back-to-back star frames here going back to hole... Well, no, never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking of hole 8. But it does appear as if we will be donating another $25 to the educational disc golf experience. It's the last time you're going to hear me say that. Well, this back nine will be the last time you'll hear me say that for several sad months, unfortunately.
And like you said, hole 10 really plays as one of the easier holes in the course, and these guys just kind of ate it up.
Oh, I see what you did. You wrapped it up. You wrapped up the hamburger puns. Okay, we're done with that now. Hole 11, par 4, 651 feet. 377 feet to the corner that you're going to see right about here. This kind of sequence of trees on the left side is kind of what players are going to look to move just past on the right. From there, it's about 300 to 250, depending on how far you move past that to this pin. But if you don't get that drive moving off to the right, you're going to have several trees to contend with on your approach.
In my opinion, this is the easiest hole to bogey on the entire course.
Wow.
I see more people hit and go left or right in the initial gap, and then it's almost, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but to navigate a par from there is so difficult.
And Chris is looking so good and just off by an inch, and that's the first time that we've really seen him punished. Well, I mean, yeah. He hasn't had a punished drive yet. Hole 1, skip forward. Hole 2, he missed a putt, and everything else since then, he's birdied.
Crazy good.
Kevin with a nice flex, moving a little bit more to the left than I'm sure he'd like.
And yesterday, Calvin threw this shot so beautifully. Let's see if he can replicate.
He really needs it now, trailing by 7, and that is what you want.
Drifting perfectly. I mean, that's a rhino into the pin from there.
400 feet right down the gut.
I want him to come. I want him to come back for that rough start. I know it. Good golly.
He's throwing this late flip buzz so beautifully.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
So much trust.
That is just gorgeous.
Yeah. That's a thing of beauty. Nothing prettier than a soft, slow disc thrown flat that just moves right on that
really, yeah, and
anhyzer.
really nice to see him showcased here in this final round and show you exactly why he got to the place that he is in right now.
Dickerson having to go to a knee. He's going to go with his most understable D6. And this is maybe one of the shots of the tournament that we've seen so far.
What? That's circle. That's
Bogey position to now inside circle 2 to try to keep that birdie streak alive.
unbelievable.
I had to head over to that line to check out what he was throwing, and that line essentially didn't really exist. He just made something happen out of nothing, and it was just amazing.
Kevin Heiser flip way wide.
And just doesn't quite make it back to the left. No one really throws the Heiser like Kevin. He really throws his whole body behind the shot. Austin with the challenger approach and made that hole look a little bit too easy.
Yeah, mid-range putter.
Yeah, beautiful. 651-foot hole. That's awesome. And that's a little bit short.
Yeah, a little work left, but that was a really great shot as well. Looking for just an upshot from Kevin with the jump putt. And this is what I want to see. I want to see what Chris has got in store for us. If he can make this, this could be
kind of lights
big,
out.
Yeah, kind of a big statement putt.
Yeah, obviously it wouldn't be lights out, but the statement that it sends, like you're saying, it's hard to ignore how well he's playing right now. Yeah, he said as soon as it left his hand, you got to get it in the air, but right on line. Birdie streak does come to an end at 8 holes.
Yeah, well, he's done that a little too much this round.
Yep. 3 times too many, to be exact.
Where we usually see maybe one in an entire round where he's getting like...
He's not leaving too many on the putting green.
Right. Especially on a calm day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's about as nice of disc golf weather as you can ever hope for. Mid-60 degree weather in October in North Carolina. It's the leaves are still green, but they're starting to change color, and you can see there's a lot of fresh leaves on the ground. It's just like a beautiful time of year to be here, and what a treat it is to bring the Disc Golf Pro Tour through the Charlotte Disc Golf Club. And once again, hats off to the Charlotte Disc Golf Club for all the tremendous work they did to get this tournament ready for all the top players in the world. And also hats off to the Disc Golf Pro Tour for everything they've done, not just for this event, but for the entire season to adjust to all the different schedules, the national tour being canceled, to throw this event and have a world record payout is just absolutely amazing. And of course, thanks to Grip 6 for coming through in the 11th hour with their title sponsorship, taking that payout for first place from both divisions from 15 grand to 20 grand, and just amazing event.
Austin puts a nice little move on this. This is
hammered,
ripped down the fairway.
470-foot tee shot with a force. Chris throwing D1.
Just needs to get down. That left side comes in quick with a shot that doesn't have any flex on it.
It's going to be on the edge. It's fortunate that he didn't go any farther left. That really becomes problematic, but he's going to have a shot. Kevin Jones unwrapping another one with a D2, and just when you think it's going to kind of die and just kind of drop down because it's got the Anheuser angle, it just stays on that perfect plane and just keeps moving. And also came in at about 480 feet or so. No higher than 7 or 8 feet the whole time.
That's a bit quicker.
Oh, boy.
That's the landing zone.
That's better than Ricky's roller yesterday, which was the best shot we'd ever seen on the hole. Is
that out of grenade distance, do you think, Luke?
600 feet. Calvin's drive.
I'm thinking grenade for myself, but I think it's too high. I think so, bro.
It's too high.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it's too high. Don't do that. It's so high.
Yeah, I actually had to laser how high they were because I was curious. 105 feet from the ground to the tops of those trees.
Look at this play. Stand one step.
Yep. Just back up into the gap, and
that's still far from there.
Yeah.
300. It's about a 300 footer. I think that's mine. I don't know about this. This would be a little farther, maybe. You're doing it? Gosh, I want to so bad.
Come back tomorrow.
What is he trying? Little sidearm?
No, we got Austin Cannon going for the tomahawk.
Oh, no. What was he thinking?
I don't think he was. I don't know. Like, he kept saying, I almost did it, and we kept looking at him saying, no. You weren't even close. Because if you get over that first tree, you still have a series of 7 more trees you got to clear.
Even if he gets over the trees, he's going to throw it 900 feet past the basket at that height. This looks a little bit early. Oh, no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
really?
That is perfecto. From that position, early right, and that's how we've seen every birdie so far. Colton Montgomery first round, way right. Macbeth next round, way right. Kevin Jones now, he has an opportunity for the birdie, and he was way right.
And this is so short that he can just flip a little sidearm. Yeah, flip a little sidearm up. Go in. Oh my. Did that hit the bucket?
That right there was completely unexpected. I don't even think Calvin was trying to give it a skip in, but he needs it right now. But, man, that was close for the what an amazing eagle that would have been.
Now, Hannum leaving that a bit short. I mean, that's gets tricky in there. Chris not really laying that up, I don't think. Not on that angle.
Mm-hmm. Trying to give like one of those basketball half-court shot types.
Right. Oh, that looked great.
Mm-hmm. Good effort from 50 or from 48. That'll be a bogey for...
So they're going to actually flip-flop Calvin and Austin.
And now with that birdie, Kevin Jones jumps up to Chris Dickerson at 8 under par for a tie of the lead.
No worries, man.
Calvin had to politely ask one of the camera crew to give him a little bit more breathing room there on the putt, and cameraman apologizing. Kevin just, it's all good, man. I ask you to move. That's on me as a player. You listened. I appreciate that. Focused in and made the clutch putt. And that's what champions do. They don't let distractions cause them to have a reason to throw a bad shot. They refocus, they buckle down, and they make shots happen.
Yeah, and that for the viewer at home, if you're ever watching a tournament, stay still. Don't move unless they ask you to move. Then move.
That's a great piece of advice. Hole 13, par 3. I'm not going to say 419 because that's not the right distance. It's 365 feet to the pin. It snakes kind of like a dog leg, but it just kind of wraps around up and over this hill, right to left the whole way down. We've seen so many backhand birdies down here this week that's really kind of blown my mind with the slope, that way that it comes in. You'd think that so many shots would skip away from the green, but people are figuring out how to be good at disc golf in all kinds of ways.
Kevin doesn't want to figure it out with the backhand today. He wants to try the side arm, which is the way the hole is kind of designed to be played.
It was. I'll admit to it. F5 connects on the one tree you got to miss. Calvin Eagle needs to get down the hill.
Yep.
Another great shot. Now, I'm actually kind of curious if
the one in the
Chris
middle
has kind of found himself in a bit of trouble kicking left with that M3.
Could be kind of stymied in there.
Austin going with his buzz. And so
Oh my God, Austin.
That's so
Dirty
good.
dog, bro.
just parks it. Beautiful. Do you think there's anything to the reason why so many backhand birdies are coming in, or backhand shots are coming in soft on the screen, is because of the leaf play on the ground? Do you think it's slowing down the discs at all?
No, I think it's the angle control, honestly. I think that people are throwing...
No, you're wrong. It's got to be the leaves.
Throwing the shot, you know, where once it gets to the basket,
Yeah.
it's out of speed.
Sure.
Just like this one. Just from the tee pad.
Yeah, and that's a great save. Chris not really afforded a big gap there on his approach and makes the most of it.
And this to stay up by 1 over Hannum, who is parked.
And that's the fourth.
I mean, he's outside the circle. I don't consider outside the circles really.
In this
missed.
situation, in this format?
Nah, I mean, you can't just guarantee that everybody's just going to knock them down from that distance. Down the hill, death putt.
I just feel like the circle sometimes just feels arbitrary. Although it does have rules implications, it just seems like if you're trying to make the putt, you're trying to make the putt. If you're putting, you're putting. If you're throwing, you're throwing. It's, you know, it's a difference.
I mean, we all know also, though, that when you're 1 foot in the circle, that's a tough putt. And those are the hardest ones that we have.
Speaking of hardest ones we have, hole 14 might be the hardest hole we have on this course. Par 3, 415 feet. Maybe the most important hole that we have left in this round, as far as we've seen 8s on this hole. We've seen some 2s. We've seen everything in between. It can be a nightmare. It could also be one of the best streams you've ever had. Austin hitting the gap nicely with that force.
Ooh, got a little extra.
Just the disc, it just has so much spin and speed on it. It doesn't know what to do when it hits the ground.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Just keep doing it, I guess. I don't know. Kevin Jones, D2.
Cake. Oh, go in.
Speechless.
Now I have have to say the momentum's in Kevin's favor. Parking this hole, Chris still has to go. It's a chess match, sure, but this is the hardest hole on the course. I mean, that gap gets smaller when you hear the crowd erupt from a player right before you, especially
when
down
you're
the stretch when you're tied trying to win the tournament.
$10,000 gap between first and second place. It's amazing. And I don't know. We may have run out of holes.
Oh, for Calvin and
Yeah.
oh yeah, they're done so. But they have their own battle.
Sure.
And Chris is for sure going to lose one to Kevin on this hole.
And that drive, that catch, Cam, did not quite illustrate how beautiful that throw was, as Calvin has come up with a great approach himself. That shot was just a fraction off, and we saw that fraction cost him the birdie on hole 11, and it does once again here on 14. Got some of those breaks to go his way on the front nine. It's a different story here on the back nine, as he's going to collect his 4th straight par now.
There's some touch right there. That was great touch.
That is so hard to throw that shot from up near the shoulder and swing through, but Austin's so good at that shot. And that's a nice putt. Like you said, there's still a very important battle going on between Calvin and the Cannon. Good par save. And we'll eventually get to Kevin Jones' drive. And there you see it's like
That's so relaxing. You're just watching these guys just throwing shots and having to make putts. And this is a course that doesn't give up a lot of park jobs. On the par 4s, there's like 2 or 3 on the front 9 where you can get parked.
Yes.
There's hole 10 here on the back 9. But other than that,
you don't see this hole parked.
No, you don't see this hole parked.
Almost any of them, but not this one. I mean, that to throw your drive and all the other players have to finish all their throws before you could go tap in your birdie. What a feeling that is. Hole 15, par 3, the gauntlet, 321 feet. We've seen some dreams dash on this hole in all the years of disc golf here at Hornets Nest Park, and it's going to play a major role in the outcome of this event, potentially. Chris Dickerson losing a stroke to Kevin Jones. Only 4 holes left. Kevin going to F5.
Uh-oh. Decent kick.
Right to the middle.
I was in danger of almost missing the mandatory there.
Oh, so good. He connects well with that buzz, does he not? My goodness.
He throws it very, very well. Hyzer flip right down the middle. He hasn't really missed a shot with it today.
No, he really hasn't.
I would throw that again on the next
For the putt?
every hole. Yeah, just full power throw right at the basket.
And
but oh no.
You don't see too many hit that gap. Making the mandatory, but not getting that early kick. I mean, that's kind of fortunate and unfortunate at the same time for Calvin.
Oh, baby.
And with the door open, a Kevin Jones early tree kick. Look who walks through. Chris Dickerson for a look at his second birdie in the back nine.
This is going to take some focus right here. This should be done, but it is not easy.
We saw Ricky throw away his chance at the finals yesterday with a bogey on that same approach, and
not Kevin.
Kevin makes a good adjustment, goes to the A3. Calvin's going to have to throw over the tee pad of our next hole. And leaves that one short, and that is this is a very important putt now, especially with Austin putting for birdie. 55 feet. I mean, just knew it.
Wow, that was one of the prettiest putts I've ever seen.
Jammed. Look at him right there. He's picking up his mini. He knows exactly where that thing's going.
Oh, how pretty is that? Great putt from Calvin.
And that's kind of match play. The pressure is now on Austin. He's got to earn that birdie stroke to take that one-stroke lead. Edge of the circle, and just as quick as Calvin knew his was in, Austin knew his was not going to go in. The robot.
He knew it was in.
Oh. He knew. We knew it was in before the hole was played.
Yeah.
That's why this is
his world.
Yeah. I mean, perfect drama is just unfolding right in front of our eyes. What a treat this is. The final event.
A3's a good disc, bro.
A3 is a good disc, bro.
No, I know. I've been missing out.
He's been throwing some great shots with that disc today. On to hole 16, par 3, 357 feet. We have a 9-foot wide gap on either side. If you go down the right side, which I think most of these players will do, it's about 200 feet to get past that 9-foot wide gap. And from there, it's only 160 feet to the pin down the hill as it fades to the left. But it is a very narrow fairway that you have to navigate through. And early kicks have spelled disaster for so many players in this event. Chris Dickerson going with his M3.
A birdie could go a long, almost the whole distance right here.
Yeah.
This is the hardest hole, really.
Yep. This is the hardest non-new hole
At least
at the
I
course.
know where I'm going. Calvin's like, I'm out.
And that was actually an incredibly fortunate second kick for Chris to keep him in the middle of the fairway. If that goes another 30 feet left, it's a very tough spot. And Kevin early releases this.
That's fortunate.
That kicks not only down the middle of the fairway, but down the fairway, down the hill. You really couldn't ever ask for a better kick. I'm going to steal this disc from Austin Hannum and just hide it.
He listened to us. Oh, wow.
And Calvin now hears those cheers. Knowing he's tied, he's got to step up and match that. Luster Rock 3. Changing disc from the day before where he missed this gap.
Oh, wow.
Making the adjustment. And anything you can do, I can do better.
Oh, man. Those are the two best drives we've seen on the hole.
We've got double drama going on both ends of the battle right now. Calvin Heimburg, this is the prettiest this shot has ever been thrown. I mean, you can't throw it better. You just can't throw it better.
No, you cannot.
Amazing. And you can actually see Kevin's disc right in front of Chris's lie by about 30 feet. Got to make sure you don't make any silly mistakes here. Just pitch it up, take your par. Just enough spin to just hit the ground and die right there on the spot. I don't know about you, but I think I would have missed that 14-foot putt by 15 feet in that situation.
Yeah, well, that's why we were eliminated in the first round. So
No, I wasn't. You were. But we were eliminated in the same round. See, I had to play to get to where you were.
Oh, right.
And we both got eliminated. Wow. What a birdie. Incredible stuff there from Austin and Calvin. On to hole 17. Par 5, 727 feet. I don't know how we saw an eagle on this hole. It doesn't even really exist. You have to carry the disc 500 feet to get to this point here where you can go up the hill. And how can you do that in these woods? I don't know, but it's been done now. the play is to go mid-range off the tee, and if you're playing for first and second right now, like Kevin and Chris are, mid-range or fairway driver, whatever is flying straight, that's what you have to throw in this hole. Ensure yourself that you have position.
Austin's going driver.
They're playing for something different. Austin's going for maybe that eagle. I don't know what he's going for, but he just pures it once again. This guy's just smoking gaps. It's kind of crazy how well he's playing that he's 6 strokes back of the leaders. I honestly don't even remember the last time he threw a bad shot.
It's true. It is true. It's just that in the woods that kind of happens. You could be puring every single drive, but it's just that momentum and the extra couple putts here and there go a long ways, and that went a long ways into the woods.
Speaking of the long way, yeah, Calvin said bye. And right before he teed off, Calvin said, I'm going for the eagle. That's it. I'm doing it. I'm going for the eagle.
Mid-range.
Chris listened, and he is going with the mid, just trying to keep it on the middle, and he's been so good with that disc today. And even though it's off just slightly to the left side of the fairway, that's still in a good position to try to attack that corner in 2.
Mid-range here.
M2, and a game of chess between these two players.
I like Kevin's mid-range game a little bit more than Chris's, in my opinion. Just a little bit. And so does he. Just a little bit more there.
Keep in mind how impressive that shot was for Kevin. The short memory
From
to
the
not
last
think
hole,
about
right?
the 8 that he had taken the day before in this hole.
I feel like these guys are going to have the same shot, a little Anheuser around in that big part of the gap. Yep.
Go.
I mean,
Chris
shot.
about 230 feet or so, maybe 220 from the corner. That comes up just a bit short of where he'd like to be.
Kevin's going with a sidearm roller here. Do we like this?
I hate the play, but I mean, how can I judge the man in the situation? He knows his game well, but does not execute the shot. In that situation, you're putting $10,000 on the line that there's not going to be a route that stops you from going where you want.
And there was Austin trying to go for the eagle line.
Yep. I'm trying to get through and maybe have like a 60-foot putt at eagle.
He didn't really need to.
No.
Now Calvin does.
Yeah, and that just smacked straight down. Now that's a huge momentum boost for Austin.
This is a flippy mid-range. Get a little nose up. Anheuser barely misses the first tree. Carrying, doesn't hit anything, and unbelievable.
That was such a difficult shot to execute, and a huge advantage actually for Chris to be 50 feet back of where Kevin's is. That angle really isn't there for where Kevin landed. And that being said,
Caught the one little one on the left. But he's happy with it.
Sure. I mean, from that position, really difficult to showcase how technically challenging that approach shot was.
And just to show you how tough it is from the left side.
Yeah. And Calvin's just having kind of a...
I think that's why nobody really eagles this hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't exist. That line doesn't exist, dude. You did something.
Look at
that's
this.
not there.
Okay.
A tree, rock, roll back to the edge of the circle. And Calvin trying to get somewhere close to the green, and now that's going to be a long comeback putt. And I've kind of lost track here. I think this might be for single bogey, or maybe for bogey, or for double. I don't even know anymore.
Here's Kevin. He hasn't really had a lot of jump putts today.
And
right on line, but it rolls
needs a stop
backwards. Isn't that how it goes?
Oh, it does happen so often. Chris right now needs this putt to give him 1 stroke lead heading into the last hole. And just
I've never seen him do that.
Never.
And
ever.
he even fumbled the pickup of the disc that he's never done.
There's never been nerves quite like this, maybe ever, in our sport. And Kevin's got to make this. I mean, goodness. I did not think that was in until it hit chains. I did not think it was high enough at any point. So just a double bogey for Calvin. No.
And the same putt coming back.
Just about maybe 3 feet closer, but Chris has got to not let that bother him. Still tied for the lead. Still 1 to go. Austin just laying up and taking the par, and now he's got 2 strokes. He doesn't need to even concern himself with this battle anymore. He's pretty much, unless something really bad happens, he's got the 3rd place on lock. We're here to see the final hole play out in the 2020 Tour season. Kevin Jones or Chris Dickerson is going to be your Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. This is the hole that Chris and Calvin came into last year, the same exact situation. Chris birdied, Calvin didn't, and Chris was the 2-time champion.
You gotta think that Kevin has a little bit of momentum on his side to see nerves for the first time really that I've ever seen from Chris. That's gotta be a calming feeling coming into a hole where this requires about usually a 30 to like this sort of putt. You know, it's very rare that they absolutely park the hole. It's usually circle's edge. And so here we go.
So here's Chris. And is this the same F1 that he threw in the last year? He birdied this hole every round last year. And it was actually in a longer position. And just beside himself. Completely.
Nerves are getting to Chris, but there's ways to get out of trouble in there. I still believe Kevin has to birdie.
Yes, and he has the same mentality. He's going D2. And if there's one person I would sub in to take this shot, it might be this man. The way that he's able to throw those late turning hyzers at this distance, Kevin has so many different discs in his bag for that specific shot.
No matter what, Kevin is going to have a putt to win the championship from about 30 feet.
Or maybe even closer. Calvin trying to give us a show. Not quite the same ace run that he gave us in the 10-down round the day prior, but an incredible season for Calvin.
Oh no, he has to go thumber from here.
It's going to take a miracle. Chris Dickerson needs to throw this in to put any pressure whatsoever on Kevin Jones. And I'm not really sure if that hit something in his backswing or if it's just the nerves that he's never ever competed with before. I don't know what happened there.
What a beautiful finish for Calvin, though, with a nice little putt.
Calvin gets to finish the season the way he deserves to finish it, with a birdie, with a Jomez, the great putt.
It's been great watching him this year.
He has really come through the last 2 years. And once again, Austin just kind of doing the classy move. He's already got 3rd place locked up. He just wants to get out of the way for the winner, and that will be Kevin Jones, your 2020 Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. Will be a new player for the first time in 3 years. And it's got to be a bit tough for Dickerson with that opportunity to take the lead on 17, missing it. But it's all in the past now, and Kevin Jones, he is your champion.
Oh, this is Oh, shoot!
Oh, there's the champagne.
I love it. Oh, I'm going to be so cold. This is so cold. Okay. You're bad, mofo, dude. Well, I went out and figured out my mid-ranges and putters today, so I had this little sense of extra confidence in my mids and my putters, which was crucial, especially coming down the stretch. This is it for me. This is a dream. This is proving to myself that I'm here to stay and continue doing this as my career for a long time. This is awesome. Thank you. Going straight home, gonna go have a party, maybe back in Arkansas, celebrate, and then start working hard again, get ready for Vegas next year. Yeah, thanks guys so much for supporting me and keeping up with me on social media. I appreciate all my followers and anybody who's rooting me on. That means the world to me. Prodigy Disc is making my life so good out on tour, so thank you, Prodigy Disc. And the A3 was killing it for me this weekend, so check out a Prodigy A3.
He really was throwing that disc so well, and man, to just squeak into the finals and then to take advantage of that opportunity. 6 down on the front, 3 down the back, 9 down, 1 off the course record. Kevin Jones bringing the heat in that final round, deserving the Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. Chris Dickerson, once again, right there at the end. What a player, what an event, what a season.
Absolutely. I mean, it was an amazing season. Great to watch these guys compete all year, and like you said, nobody deserves it more than Kevin Jones, and he proves it today.
All this action is going to be on ESPN2. We are so excited to announce that. That release will be on Tuesday, November 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And also, don't forget to head over to grip6.com/JomezPro for a Grip 6 giveaway. Once again, this event would not have that incredible record-breaking payout without the outstanding effort from the Grip 6 crew. We thank you so much for stepping up and becoming the title sponsor of this event. Disc Golf Pro Tour has provided once again an amazing season for all his touring players. Without them, we wouldn't have had this season. You wouldn't have JomezPro to watch. So hats off to Jeff Spring and all the crew. We thank you, the Founders Club. We're sorry to see you go, but we will see you 2021 in Las Vegas. For Jeremy Koling and Paul Ulibarri, Big Barry out.
Love y'all.